What's up, guys? So today I'm gonna be showcasing the sakuraas camera mod. This is a paid mod, sadly, but it's very worth it. But I'm kind of laggy, and the really only downside to this camera is how tricky it was to set up. But it's all worth it. But now I'm just a little bit laggy, which I can live with, kind of. Except for when I'm playing comp. But, like I said, I'm going to be reviewing sakuraas camera mod. And this is such a good camera mod. I'm talking, so good. It has everything you could possibly think of. Such as casting, just no mods. It's a mod, but it doesn't have, Bro, what? It's a mod, but it doesn't have, illegal mods. It's a perfectly legal mod. And what is this? There's a hot dog there. Okay, but without further ado, let's get right into this video. So the first thing we have about this is when you click first person, Yeezy's or any other camera mod disappears. But with sakuraas, it doesn't. It stays right there. And the cool thing about this first person is it's really cinematic. So if you have your FPV, which I'll get to, I'll tell you what that is in a sec. If you have your FPV on high and you're running, but you're shaking your head a lot, I'm shaking my head so much and it's barely shaking. So it's really smooth. It's a really good first person. But don't put this under the map because you will have to restart your game. And I'm pretty sure you don't want that. And then we got third person, which is just a good third person. But it doesn't have FPV, sadly. So it only can be it has to be shaky. And then we have GoPro mode, which is where I just and I can grab the camera. That's what I used in this intro. Then we got follow mode, which is set to follow your head, but but in the settings you can change it to follow your body. But the follow player is really smooth too, and I don't even have any settings on it. So yeah, that's what's cool about that. Then we have my personal favorite, because Yeezy's doesn't have this, Track Monkey. Now, this just tracks your movement. It doesn't follow you, so I can go all the way up to better slippery walls, and it's just going to track me. See, it hasn't followed me one bit, which is really nice. Then we got lock camera. This is probably the worst feature. Hold on. It's probably the worst feature. Yeah, not the worst feature. It's really cool, actually. But say you guys want to see a really cool Sigma edit of me. If I put the camera there and click lock camera, it'll put it in that view. So you can see what the camera sees, but I can actually have it there. And this is good for taking the camera places. So I put it in first person, but then I lock camera. Well, not only this is really bad, but then that you can take the camera places. So yeah, now we're gonna get on to the really cool settings that this camera has. Hold on. So this camera has two settings pages, which I think is really cool. The first settings page is first person, the very first thing that you can see. The very first thing is the FPV. So what this the FPV is how smooth it is. So I'm gonna be doing some running. If you have your FPV on disabled, it's gonna shake a lot when I do that. I'm barely shaking my head. It's kind of how I see And then we have low, which is a little bit more like smooth, but it's still really not smooth. Then we have mid, which is pretty not shaky, well, not as shaky. Then we have high. I'm shaking my head a lot. And then we have juiced, which I'm still shaking my head a lot, but it doesn't really move too much. This is the best for like compilations, like comp lobby running. Also because it looks super cool. But yeah, if you turn it like to like 110 FOV, it's such a cool like first person. And then we have third person, which it can be on centered or the side. The side is kind of what it looks like before you buy any camera mod, but centered is like a real good thing. And we have follow monkey. It usually puts it on body, but body is kind of gross, to be honest, because it's not focusing on me. But if you change it to your head, it looks better. It looks so much better. Then we have FOV. Oh yeah, there's FOV clipping and size for everything. Then we have track monkey. It's default set to your head, but if you want to set it to your body, I guess you can. I don't know why you would do that though, because they're not focusing on you. And then we have GoPro mode. Yeah, and then we have lock. Well, I just turned lock on. But first person by far has the best settings. And so yeah, now we're gonna get onto the other, like, what's it called? The other settings, like the second page of settings. Alright, so this one has a lot of cool stuff. It has nighttime. Hold on, wait a minute. It has a day-night changer mod. So you can change it to nighttime, sunset, noon, dawn, which is the brightest, and that's what I'm gonna use for my like thing. And it also uses the old sky, and day, which is the OG Gorilla Tag, kind of like textures and stuff, and it looks so beautiful. I wish I could just. So I'm gonna keep it on day, even though it was really not on day. Then we have name tags. You can't see it on me, so we're gonna go into a public lobby. I'll be right back. And now I'm back. But if I go into like, if I bring it over here, if here, like you can see their name tags. And then we have mini map, which puts mini map way up there, I think. Yeah, it puts a mini map up there.
Use Macarena, bro. Use
right
Macarena.
there. And it follows the camera, not the player. But if you're casting, it will follow the player, because that's how it works. Now we have scoreboard. It shows the scoreboard, and whoever's using the camera will be number 0. So that's pretty cool. Then we have toggle rain. So I guess if you're weird and you like the rain, I'm joking. If you like the rain, then you can use the rain. And then there's my favorite, toggle menu. This, I'm gonna go into like, it has rig smoothing, and the heck, but it can. So let's just join the code lobby code. I'll definitely be the only one in there. Calling it. Yeah, see. But it's got rig smoothing, so if you oh yeah, it also has a free cam. But I will have to use my keyboard. I'll just make a video on like the casting mod. And then it has drone, which is kind of hard to control, to be honest. And then there's player, which is like what TTT and like, this is what TTT's casters use. And it's really cool, to be honest. But if you do the mini map on the player, it'll follow the player and not the camera, because the camera will be locked. Well, it's really called a tablet, but I think it's more of a camera, to be honest. But it has player specs and mini map stuff. I will get into this on another video, but actually not, because I want this video to be like good and long. So you can change the FOV. Please never use 160. I would go like 90 or like 95. And unlike Dev's camera mod, this is perfectly legal. Like, it's because there's a teleporter. Well, I'll get to that. But it has clipping, which like shows how close stuff is. If you put it on 0, it looks the best. Here, I'm changing my FOV to like 1. I'm trying to change it to, okay, yeah, that'll work. And then we got tracking. It can be on their body, which me personally, I don't like. And then it can be on their eyes, but make sure to always have smooth on. But it won't if it's on, like, it will never be on. But eyes is what TTT uses. So, like, I'm pretty sure they use, like, 109 FOV, maybe. But that's how they see, like, first person. They just change it to eyes. Oh, shoot, hand tracking. And then if you just, hold on. And then if you click, I don't know what pin player, currently to the spectated player, I don't know what that does. And then we have smooth on. And then autopilot, I don't know what this is, honestly. I'll ask Sakura. Then we have move audio. So this shows what everybody else is hearing. So like when you're casting someone, it will tell you what they're hearing and not what you're hearing. It's peak. And then, so yeah, let's go back to tablet real quick. But where's the tablet? There's the tablet. Okay. So we also have some cool stuff. We have keybinds, which tells you some cool stuff. We have zoom, which is Z. Pretty sure that's for, like, I don't know. Toggle mic is T. Leaderboard is L. Toggle distance is B. Switch mode is left alt. That's like how you switch to drone and stuff on keyboard. And then you can't move because there's actually, hold on, I'll tell you that in a sec. Then there's name changer, so you can change your name to like caster or username, but you have to restart your game when you change it. Then there's time changer. 0 is like night, and then 10,000 is day. I'm on 10,000. But like this would be like really dark. And this would be like day. And then we have minimap, which is on scoreboard. Okay, this is gonna be like a lot to tell you about. But it gives you a scoreboard. But if we move all my like stuff to down here, you can have, hold on. I don't want that. I want that down here. Okay. You can change like its position, and you can change like where it's located. But hold on, I'm gonna, so you can change it so it's like, so if you want to center it again, you can change it so it's centered. And then you can change it so it's high up. This is cool, but also you can do silly Sakura, which is like Cherry, and then you can do it so there's players, but I don't know how to edit the players. Hold on. Oh yeah. So player 2. I don't know what the percent is. I will just be casting for fun, but That's really cool. And then there's also like the classic one where it's what TTT uses. And then there might be custom ones actually. Timer starts at -10. Round end pause on, yeah, counting up. Yeah, it's counting up, not down. Just counting down is weird. Scoreboard overlay. CGT, which is Comp Gorilla Tag. I just sounded like a nerd when I said that. And then, so yeah, that's the scoreboard. And then we have map loader. This loads in whatever map you want. So right now I just loaded into caves, but oh shoot. Hold on, I'm gonna go back into caves real quick. So that way, yeah, it loads the map and teleports you there, I'm pretty sure. Which is really, really Sigma. But when I live stream, I'm probably gonna... That was so weird, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, it's got all that. It's got a map loader. And then it's got a teleporter. So this, when you're on PC, it teleports you to... Oh yeah, you can't use it on Quest because then this mod would be illegal and you can get banned for teleporting. But you can teleport to 3 spots when you're on your PC. You can teleport to those stairs, under the table, and in Stump. But it's not like Dev's camera mod where you start like you start shifting a little bit. It's where like you don't move at all because you're teleported there and yeah. And then anti-cheat and rank checker and miscellaneous. I can't do that because I don't have the pro. And then leaderboard, you already know what that is. Name tags, you already know what that is. Kill feed, I actually don't know what this is. Distance, which is like how far I am from a lava monkey. And then layer smooth. Oh yeah, that's like rig smoothing, so that way it's like CGT. Then we got configuration, save, auto load, and then yeah. But I'm gonna go quit that, but it's got like self tags so you can see your self tags. I don't do it because when I'm looking up and I'm trying to scale, this gets in the way. So I have to do that. And then oh wait, no, not platforms. So yeah, now it's hidden for me. And then scale now is really big. I can also change it to super duper small. Yeah, so that way it's like really small. And then if I just... Okay, man. I'm gonna keep it at 0.7 because that looks the best, to be honest. Oh yeah, my controller disconnected, that's why it's moving me. And then we got position. Puts it way over my head. And then it puts it... And then this, I'm guessing, puts it in my head. Yeah. So we're going to put it on 1 again, because that looks actually kind of good. Then font. Oh, yeah, it has fonts. I forgot. It has... Hold on, I'm going to close. I'm going to move this so that way you guys can see. Because, yeah. So it has the G tag font, which is what is on my name tag thing. Then we have Pixel, which I love to death. Then we have Gotham, Designer, and then Default. I'm either going to use G-Tag, Pixel, or Designer, because those look really good. And then, yeah, that's really it for that. Players, live, that's replay. Replay. But you have to have, like, a certain pack for that. Tooltips, I don't know what that is. Hide UI manager, that's like how to do some stuff. And then yeah, that's really it, to be honest. And this is $7 a month, and it's only on Discord. And yeah, it's a treacherous process to set up. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this full like what do I call this? Review of the Sakuraas camera mod. Yeah, see you guys. Thanks for watching. Alright, so this is what I mean by teleporter only works. So you can only teleport to Instomp on the stairs and under the table. So yeah, I hope that helps.